What if aging wasn't permanent? What if the damage quietly building inside your cells right now could actually be reversed, not slowed, not masked, but genuinely undone? For decades, scientists treated aging as an inevitable clock. But new discoveries powered by artificial intelligence are forcing them to rethink everything they thought they knew. And the results? Even the researchers themselves didn't see them coming. What's actually happening inside you every single day? Your cells are under siege. Sunlight, stress, processed food, pollution, all of it leaves marks on your DNA. But the damage goes deeper than most people realize. It's not just your genetic sequence that breaks down over time. It's something called the epigenome, a biological control system that sits above your DNA and tells your genes when to turn on and when to shut off. Think of your DNA as the script of a movie. Your epigenome is the director. When you're young, the director is sharp, focused, giving perfect cues. But as the years go by, errors pile up. The director starts giving wrong signals. Genes that should stay quiet begin firing. Genes that should stay active fall silent. The result is what scientists now call epigenetic drift. And it's one of the most powerful drivers of aging ever identified. As cells age, something else happens too. They begin shifting from a structured, functional state into what researchers call a mesenchymal state, stiffer, scar-like, barely performing their jobs. This pattern shows up across the kidneys, liver, lungs, and heart. It's not a disease. It's aging at the molecular level. On top of that, the tiny power generators inside your cells, the mitochondria, start breaking down. RNA accumulates damage. Metabolic byproducts build up. Lysosomes, which are the cell's internal cleanup crew, become hyperactivated and begin to fail. The result of all this is a body that slowly loses its ability to repair and regenerate. Scientists at Mount Sinai identified lysosomal dysfunction as a direct trigger of stem cell aging, meaning the very cells meant to heal the body are themselves quietly breaking down. And for most of human history, there was nothing anyone could do about it. How artificial intelligence changed everything? That's where AI entered the picture, and it changed the speed of discovery almost overnight. One of the biggest breakthroughs came from an AI platform called AgXtend, which screened over 1 billion chemical compounds in search of substances that could slow or reverse cellular aging. That kind of work would take a human team centuries. The AI completed it at a scale no laboratory could match. It accurately flagged known compounds like metformin and taurine, and then went further, identifying entirely new candidates from microbiome-derived metabolites that could suppress cellular senescence in human fibroblasts. Cellular senescence is a state where cells stop dividing but refuse to die. They sit in the body like broken machines, pumping out inflammatory signals that damage surrounding tissue. Senolytics, drugs that specifically clear these zombie cells, have become one of the hottest areas in longevity medicine. In a pilot study published in late 2024, a 6-week treatment using a combination of dasatinib and quercetin noticeably improved cognition in older adults with mild cognitive decline. AI is now being used to identify which patients will respond to these treatments and why. But perhaps the most jaw-dropping work involves a concept called partial cellular reprogramming. In 2006, Japanese scientist Shinya Yamanaka discovered that just 4 genes, now known as the Yamanaka factors, could reset adult cells back to a stem cell-like state. His discovery earned him a Nobel Prize. What scientists didn't fully grasp at the time was how this could apply to aging. A team at the Babraham Institute in Cambridge applied a carefully timed, transient version of this reprogramming process to human skin cells taken from older donors. The results were extraordinary. When measured against the epigenetic clock, a tool developed by UCLA's Steve Horvath that reads DNA methylation patterns to estimate biological age, the treated cells showed markers of being approximately 30 years younger. The cells didn't lose their identity. A skin cell remained a skin cell, but its biological clock had been wound back by 3 decades. Harvard geneticist Dr. David Sinclair.
Yeah, so in science, what I like to do, I'm a reductionist, is to boil it down. And I actually ended up boiling aging down to an equation.
One of the most prominent voices in longevity science went even further. His lab restored vision in mice suffering from age-related glaucoma, a condition normally considered irreversible, by activating 3 of the 4 Yamanaka factors. The treated mice didn't just stop losing sight. Their vision came back. AI has since been integrated into Sinclair's lab to accelerate this research into human applications. Later experiments restored vision in aged monkeys, marking a major leap from rodent models toward eventual human trials. In a separate study, mice that were very old, the equivalent of humans in their late 80s, were given gene therapy that delivered the reprogramming factors systemically. Their remaining median lifespan more than doubled. Their frailty scores dropped significantly, and their liver and heart tissue showed measurable reversal of epigenetic age. Meanwhile, researcher Dr. Juan Carlos Escapisa Belmonte demonstrated in a 2025 study published in Cell that partial reprogramming could reverse the mesenchymal drift pattern across multiple organs in old mice. Tissues in the kidney and liver showed significantly reduced expression of aging-related genes after 7 months of periodic treatment. What this means for the future, the implications stretch far beyond the laboratory. Tech entrepreneur Brian Johnson has become one of the most visible examples of someone applying data
in a thought experiment. So imagine if we were speaking, if we could whisper in the ear of those that lived in 1870, we might say something like, hey.
Driven AI-assisted protocols to his own biology, using continuous epigenetic measurements to optimize his lifestyle, diet, and supplement regimen. He reportedly reduced his epigenetic age by more than 5 years in under a year. Experts caution that the precise interpretation of these numbers is still debated, but the fact that biological age can be measurably shifted at all is what most scientists find remarkable. Jeff Bezos has invested in Altos Labs, a company focused specifically on cellular reprogramming, which has raised over $3 billion. Sam Altman, head of OpenAI, has backed Retro Biosciences with $180 million, directing resources toward autophagy enhancement and reprogramming therapies. The fact that the architects of the AI revolution are now funding the longevity science revolution is not a coincidence. These two fields are deeply linked. AI is now being used to build personalized aging clocks that can estimate biological age based on blood proteins, DNA methylation, and metabolic data. These clocks help researchers understand which interventions actually work and which only appear to. They're exposing the difference between looking younger and being younger at a cellular level. The first human clinical trial for cellular reprogramming-based rejuvenation is now underway, as reported in a Nature publication from early 2026. Scientists are testing whether these extraordinary results seen in animals can translate safely to human tissue and human organs. The honest answer right now is that full human age reversal is still ahead, but the gap between science fiction and scientific reality has never been smaller. What AI has done is collapse decades of trial and error into years, and in some cases months. What once seemed like a dream confined to billionaires and sci-fi novels is now running through clinical trials and peer-reviewed journals. Aging is not a wall, it may be a door. And for the first time in human history, scientists have found the key.